I've talked in the past about doing too much groundwork with a horse before the first ride and how that can be very bad. In this video, it doesn't go as bad as it could have, but you will see places where this could have been very bad. This is a 4-year-old BLM Mustang that the owner pulled from a different trainer to send to us because that other trainer wouldn't get on the horse for whatever reason, I don't know. You just saw Robert saddle this horse with no issues whatsoever, cinched up the girth with no issues whatsoever, and then asked the horse to walk off and just walk a circle. No issues whatsoever. This looks like a broke horse. And as I've talked about in some of the previous videos, when you do so much of this up to a point, but stop when it's time to get on, the horse is really, really comfortable at this point. Sometimes not really paying attention, so comfortable to the point that the horse thinks, well, this is it. And then you get up in the saddle and the horse is like, oh no, I thought we were done progressing. And it can turn really bad really quick. And you'll see what happens when Robert steps up in the saddle. Thankfully, this horse didn't buck, but when you see what the horse does do, if the horse would have bucked, Robert would have had nothing to work with. And thankfully, the horse didn't buck, because if it would have, this would have gone really bad. Here Robert is attaching the reins to the halter. Maverick is wearing just a plain smooth mouth D-ring snaffle bit, but the reins will be attached to the halter. And also, the first couple times Robert gets on a horse, he always leaves the lead rope on, and if anything happens, it's actually the lead rope that Robert uses to send the horse forward in a circle. Here Robert's just kind of putting a little pressure, seeing what he does, step up in the saddle, keeps the head to the side just a little bit so that if Maverick was to scoot forward, jump forward, anything like that, then he could pull Maverick into a circle. Now, from what he saw right there, he felt confident that he could pull Maverick into a circle off of the rein because he was pretty soft moving his head. So he took the lead rope up. He's going to step up here and he's going to swing his leg over and sit down. First ride, you always keep the head to the side a little bit. That is what's going to save you if things get bad. Robert settled into the stirrups, doesn't have any spurs on, and this is what I want you to see right here. Look at how much Maverick is flexing to the side when Robert tries to steer. This is going to be a problem. You'll see it show up several times through this video. And if Maverick was to decide to buck or run off, Robert really has nothing to go to right here. This horse has been overly softened, overly flexed, and this is really not good for a first ride. And you'll see why in a minute. So at this point, Robert is getting Maverick to just move forward and steer as best as he can. It's really beneficial that we start these horses in this arena. If we was starting Maverick in a round pen like many people like to do and tell us we should be doing, a lot of times you don't realize that you don't have any steering until you get out of that round pen. But thankfully, in this arena, we can ask the horse to steer and know just exactly what we have when we do get ready to leave this arena. And we've got to make sure that we have steering when we leave this arena. We get this horse out to ride in the back pasture on a trail ride, and we have this kind of steering, it's going to be an issue. Normally, we like to get horses out of this arena within the third or fourth time that we're on their back, but we're not going to be able to do that with this horse. And we're going to have a problem with this horse that this horse starts to become comfortable with being ridden in this arena before we have steering. So riding this horse out back for its first ride is going to be an issue. We've got to see how he progresses and see what we're going to have to do about that for him. As you see Robert riding around, he's trying to get a little bit of steering You have to have feet going forward in order to steer. And it's just like driving your truck. You can turn the steering wheel back and forth all you want, but until you mash the gas pedal and tell the horse to go, you don't know, you don't have any steering. So right here, Robert is asking him to go. And another one of the issues that Robert's running into with Maverick is Maverick has been so desensitized to a point, and he learned in all this desensitization that when he's not sure, he's supposed to get his feet still. So as we're trying to make Maverick go, anytime Maverick is not sure, he's trying to stand still, because that's what his reward has been in the past. And we're trying to kind of untrain or retrain that at this point to let him understand that what we're asking for is okay, and we want him to move his feet forward. We have to have forward in order to teach steering. And you'll see in just a minute, now that Robert's getting some forward, Maverick wanted to stop there. That's a good example of Maverick wanting to stop when he's unsure. And you'll see, we'll show you here in just a minute what Robert starts to do to try to get a little bit more steering. And we have to have that. This is an issue that has to be fixed right away, because at some point, luckily Maverick wants to be good, and at some point we have to steer. At this point, Robert has been on Maverick for roughly 10 minutes, and what he's been working on in those 10 minutes is to teach Maverick that when I bump with my legs, I want you to go forward, and where I want you to go forward and follow your nose. If you watch here real close, Robert is trying to tell Maverick to turn towards the wall and go the other direction. It's a balance here. He's pointing his nose to the wall, and he's also bumping with the legs. Point and go. That's really all we're after right here, is point and go. But Maverick isn't sure. He don't understand. He don't understand why he wants Robert to turn into the wall, which is confusing to him. But this is going to be the first step in getting some steer. And Robert is trying to use the wall as an aid to get Maverick to steer. And this is going to be really important moving forward, and Maverick will start to make this connection here in just a little bit, and you'll see that start to happen. So coming around this way, Robert is finally going to get Maverick to turn towards the wall. But I want you to watch what Robert does, everything leading up to this turn. He does a really great job of setting Maverick up so that he understands what Robert's going to be asking for. So as Robert's walking down this wall, see how he's really insisting on forward, really kicking, encouraging forward. Really sending him forward, getting some go. Now here he kind of pulls him away from the wall a little bit. Now asks him to turn and kicks pretty hard. That got Maverick turned towards the wall and going the other direction. That is the first step of really starting to establish some steering with Maverick. There he turns back and goes the other way. Really getting the point through to him that when I kick, I want you to go forward, and I want you to go forward and follow your nose. Much, much better there. Now he's starting to look like a horse that can steer a little bit. So this was the very first ride on Maverick, first time Maverick has been ridden. And Robert steps off of him here in just a minute. He's established some good progress here, so we're going to stop. And I'll be showing some more videos of Maverick's progression. This seems to be a really nice horse, and he just don't understand. Way too much time was spent on groundwork. This horse should have been ridden a long time ago. But this is going to be a nice horse, and we're going to work through all the issues, and would like for you to follow along. I'll have a link to his playlist on YouTube. It'll be titled Maverick, and thank you for watching.